It started on a quiet Thursday night. A 911 call breaks the silence, the kind that frays the edges of your nerves. The operator answers, routine at first, but then a man's voice, trembling. I killed someone. I think I need to tell you everything. His name, Daniel Crowe, 26 years old, worked as a barista in Asheville, North Carolina. No criminal record, no enemies, no hint of violence in his past. Just a regular guy, until the night he walked into the police station, head down, palms sweating, looking like he hadn't slept in days. Detective Lisa Moreno remembers. He kept repeating he'd done something terrible, ready to accept whatever punishment was coming. But then, the first real curveball, when they asked who he'd killed, Daniel just froze. He says, I don't know her name, I just remember the blood, the woods. Her eyes were open. Detectives, naturally, are skeptical. No missing persons matching that description. No body, no crime scene, no weapon. Daniel insists, though. He draws a map, a big red X on a trail near the Pisgah National Forest. Police follow it. They find nothing. No signs of a struggle, no grave, not even disturbed earth. Forensics comb the area, but it's a dead end. So Daniel's brought back in, under recorded conditions. Detective asks, Daniel, are you sure this isn't just a dream? A nightmare? Daniel, I wish it was. But it happened. I remember her scarf, blue with little white stars. She begged me not to. And here's where everything flips. Because a woman named Melissa Avery had been reported missing years before after hiking in that exact forest. She'd been wearing a scarf, blue, with little white stars. That detail? Never made public. Detectives reopened Melissa's case. Her mother, heartbroken but hopeful, had always believed her daughter was out there somewhere. Never dead, just missing. Search efforts ramp up. Cadaver dogs scour the woods. One dog alerts beneath a fallen pine. They dig and find a shoe. Faded blue canvas, torn and weathered by 6 years of rain and sun. But nothing else. No body, no DNA. Daniel is brought to the spot. He stands by the hole and cries, This is it. This is where I left her. And then, twist number 2. Melissa Avery is found alive. 2 states away, living under a new name. She'd faked her disappearance, running from an abusive fiancé and starting over. When police show her Daniel's photo, she's stone-faced. I don't know this man. Never seen him before. So, what did Daniel really confess to? There's no murder, no victim, but the details, the scarf, the spot in the woods, the look in her eyes, are bone-chillingly precise. Daniel undergoes psychiatric evaluation. No delusions, no signs he's making it up. He's released. But he doesn't want freedom. He says, I know what I did. Whether anyone believes me or not, I remember her. No charges filed. Melissa goes back to her life. Daniel moves away, changes his name. But every year he comes back to that same tree in the forest, leaves flowers. A tree that now stands over a mystery. So here's the question. Did Daniel confess to a crime that never happened? Or did he remember something the rest of us forgot? This is Vanished Whispers, True Crime. If this story kept you up at night, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And remember, some truths hide in plain sight. Until next time. The investigation takes a sharp turn when detectives track down a possible witness. The witness, a local hiker named Jamie, remembers something from that night. Jamie's voice is soft, wavering. It was late. I was heading back to my car when I saw someone. A guy. He looked lost or maybe scared. He kept glancing over his shoulder. Jamie hesitates, fidgeting. I think it was Daniel Crowe. I mean, it looked like him. He was wearing a dark hoodie, jeans. He stopped when he saw me, just stood there, then he kind of disappeared into the trees. Detectives press for details. Jamie's story falters. I thought I heard a woman's voice, but maybe it was just the wind. I can't be sure, it was so dark. I keep replaying it in my head, but Jamie's uncertainty only deepens the mystery. I don't know what I saw, maybe I imagined it, but I know he was there, I'm sure of it. I think a witness's memory, fragile, flickering. Did Jamie see a moment of truth, or just a shadow in the woods? The line between fact and fear blurs once again. The forest keeps its secrets, but for Daniel Crowe and everyone else, the questions only grow darker. Split screen. On the left, Daniel Crowe sits at a table under harsh fluorescent lights, eyes darting. On the right, Detective Moreno leans forward, voice steady but sharp. Typewriter text overlays every spoken word. Flashes of evidence photos, muddy footprints, a torn hoodie, a blurry figure in the trees flicker across the screen. Let's go over it again, Daniel. You said you left the trail at 10:15, but your phone pinged near the forest entrance at 10:40. How do you explain that? I must have lost track of time. Maybe my watch was off. Your watch was broken. We checked. You said you never saw anyone that night, but a witness places you near the clearing, where we found the scarf. Care to explain? I was just walking. I didn't see a scarf. I didn't see anyone. Jamie saw you, Daniel. Said you looked scared. Why? I don't know. Maybe I heard something. The woods creep me out. The camera lingers on Daniel's hands, clenched and sweating. The typewriter clacks out each word, echoing the tension. You keep changing your story, Daniel. First you said you left alone. Then you said you heard a woman's voice. Which is it? I don't remember. I just want to go home. Another flash. A close-up of the evidence bag. The scarf stained with something dark. You're not going anywhere, Daniel. Not until we know the truth. Music swells. The screen filled with overlapping images. Daniel's anxious face, Detective Moreno's piercing gaze, the shadowy woods outside. The truth circles the room, silent and suffocating. Inconsistencies pile up, suspicion mounting with every answer. As the interrogation deepens, the line between victim and suspect grows razor thin. The mystery is far from over. A new layer of darkness settles over the case. The camera pans across the blood-stained scarf, now sealed in an evidence bag, its crimson stains illuminated by the sterile glow of the forensic lab. Gloved hands carefully unfold the fabric, revealing initials embroidered in faded thread. The scene flickers between slow-motion close-ups of the scarf and the methodical hands of a forensic analyst swabbing for DNA. Suddenly, the silence shatters. A phone rings, echoing through the empty precinct. The screen splits. On one side, a police dispatcher answers. On the other, the call log displays an unknown number, time-stamped just after midnight. The voice on the line is distorted, almost unrecognizable. "You're looking in the wrong place," it warns before the call abruptly ends. The narrative tightens as Detective Moreno listens to a voicemail left minutes later. The message is brief, chilling. He wasn't alone in the woods, not that night. The words replay, each time more distorted as the camera zooms in on Moreno's troubled expression. Forensic results appear on screen in typewriter text. Blood type matches victim, DNA pending. The scarf, the call, the cryptic message, all new pieces in a puzzle that refuses to fit. As the evidence mounts, so does the sense of dread. The truth is out there, tangled in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. The music heightens, images overlapping. The scarf under UV light, a ringing phone vibrating on a desk. Detective Moreno staring at the evidence board, lips pressed in determination. The case has taken a turn, and nothing is as it seems. The tension reaches a breaking point. As dawn breaks, the forensic lab delivers its verdict. The DNA found on the bloodstained scarf is not a match for Daniel, nor for Melissa. The revelation sends shockwaves through the investigation. A new profile emerges in the system. Unknown, male, and unaccounted for in any of the case files. Detective Moreno stands frozen, the lab report trembling in his hand. The camera lingers on his face, illuminated by the cold blue light of the evidence board. Photos of Daniel and Melissa are now joined by a shadowy silhouette, the only clue to this mysterious third presence. Outside, patrol cars cut through the fog as officers comb the woods with flashlights, their beams slicing through the darkness. Every snapping twig and distant rustle sets nerves on edge. Suddenly the camera shifts. Hidden among the trees, a shadowy figure watches the search unfold, their features obscured, breath visible in the icy air. As the music swells, the scene blurs between the frantic search and the unseen watcher. The voice on the phone, the mismatched DNA, the chilling message, they all point to a deeper truth lurking just out of reach. And as Detective Moreno pins the new evidence to the board, the narrator's voice echoes, "Was Daniel ever truly guilty? Or is the real story still waiting to be uncovered in the darkness?" One thing is certain, the woods are keeping their secrets, for now. The screen fades to black, the shadowy figure lingering in the viewer's mind as the mystery remains unsolved. A sudden break in the case, just as investigators begin to lose hope, a new witness steps forward. Her name is Evelyn Harper, a local dog walker whose nightly route winds perilously close to the woods. Her statement, recorded in the sterile confines of the precinct, is about to turn everything upside down. Sound of a tape recorder clicking on. The camera pans over a typed police transcript, words highlighted as the voiceover reads, "Detective Moreno, state your name for the record. Evelyn Harper. Evelyn Harper." I live on Maple Lane. I walk my dog every night, same time. Detective Moreno. You say you saw Daniel and Melissa the night Melissa disappeared? Evelyn Harper. Yes, I saw them arguing on the trail just after midnight. Daniel looked angry. He kept glancing over his shoulder. Melissa was crying, but she kept saying something I couldn't hear. Detective Moreno. Are you certain it was them? Evelyn Harper. Positive. The moon was bright. Daniel was wearing a red jacket. Melissa had that white scarf. The one you found, right? Camera lingers on the scarf evidence bag, then cuts back to the transcript. Detective Moreno. Did you see anyone else? Evelyn Harper hesitates. At first, no, but when I was leaving, I heard footsteps behind me, heavy ones. I turned, but I only saw a shadow slip behind the trees. I thought maybe it was another hiker, but now I'm not sure. Detective Moreno, why didn't you come forward sooner? Evelyn Harper. I was scared. I heard about the arrest and I thought you had it figured out. But then I saw on the news that the DNA didn't match Daniel and... Heavy silence. The transcript shows Detective Moreno circling inconsistencies in Evelyn's account. Daniel's red jacket was never recovered. Melissa's scarf, found with unknown DNA, was described as white, but earlier reports claimed it was blue. The timeline she gives is off by nearly an hour from Daniel's statement. As the interview ends, Detective Moreno's doubts multiply. Evelyn's testimony confirms the presence of Daniel and Melissa, but the details clash with everything the detectives thought they knew. The color of the scarf, the missing jacket, the shadow in the woods, and then, a final twist. A traffic camera near the trailhead captures a blurry figure at 1:07 a.m., long after Daniel claims to have left. The figure is carrying something white, and a dog, Evelyn's dog, can be seen tugging at its leash nearby. The board in the evidence room grows ever more tangled. Who is lying? Who is protecting whom? And just how many secrets are buried beneath the trees? The investigation has a new suspect, and the truth feels further away than ever. Music swells, screen fades to black, lingering on the highlighted lines of Evelyn's transcript. Just when the case seemed lost in a maze of contradictions, a startling new connection emerges from the shadows. It begins with a forensic report, one that had sat overlooked, its significance buried beneath more obvious evidence. The unknown DNA found on Melissa's scarf? It matches a cold case from nearly 2 decades ago. The suspect, a man named Victor Hayes, a figure with no apparent link to Daniel, or so it seemed. Daniel, this isn't just about that night. We need to talk about your past, about Victor Hayes. I haven't heard that name in years. He used to live next door when I was a kid. He was like a father to me after mine left. Victor always volunteered at school events. Daniel and Melissa were inseparable back then, and Victor, he was always around. But after that summer, he just disappeared. No one ever talked about it. The revelation sends shockwaves through the investigation. Victor Hayes, presumed gone, now reemerges as the shadowy presence in the woods, and the only other person with a motive rooted in the past. I never told Melissa. I wanted to forget. But the night she disappeared, he called me, said he was back, said if I didn't meet him, he'd hurt her. All this time, I thought Daniel was hiding something about me. I never imagined it was about him, about us. How many lives did Victor ruin before he vanished? A secret buried for decades. A bond formed in childhood, twisted by betrayal. As Daniel's guilt and Melissa's heartbreak collide, the investigation takes a new, darker turn. The truth isn't just about what happened in the woods that night. It's about what's been hiding in plain sight for years. As dawn breaks over the quiet town, the investigation reaches its end. In the sterile glow of the police station, detectives gather, files stacked, evidence labeled, and the weight of truth heavy in the air. The final police findings are read aloud. DNA evidence confirms Victor Hayes was present the night Melissa vanished. His fingerprints found on the scarf match those from the decades-old cold case. Yet Victor remains missing, a phantom whose motives are only partially illuminated. A conclusive statement comes from Melissa herself, her voice trembling but resolute, recorded in a final interview. I never understood why Daniel changed that summer. Now I know. We were both victims of secrets too heavy for children to carry. Daniel, cleared of suspicion, sits quietly. His past exposed, he's free, but changed forever. The bond between him and Melissa, once innocent, now bears scars that time alone may never heal. But just as closure seems within reach, the lead detective places a new photograph on the table. It shows Victor Hayes, older, watching from the crowd at a recent town festival, weeks after the investigation began. The timestamp is irrefutable. The camera lingers on the photo, the music swelling with a mix of relief and dread. Yes, justice has been served for what happened that night. Yes, the threads of guilt, love, and betrayal have been woven into a tapestry of understanding. But the shadow in the woods still lingers, never caught, never fully understood. As the screen fades to black, a single question remains. How well do we ever truly know the people who shape our lives? And what secrets might they still be hiding? The case is closed, but the mystery endures. Just when the town begins to settle into uneasy acceptance, a chilling discovery shatters any sense of resolution. Deep in the woods, where the search for Melissa first began, a local hiker stumbles upon a scorched metal box buried beneath a pile of ashes. The box is old, rusted, but inside, a collection of items that defy explanation. A faded photograph showing Melissa, Daniel, and Victor, together, much earlier than anyone realized. A child's bracelet engraved with initials that match none of the known victims. And, most disturbingly, a blood-stained note in handwriting eerily similar to Melissa's. The evidence is rushed to the station. Investigators, already fraying at the edges, now find themselves questioning everything. Conflicting witness statements pour in. Some swear the box has been there for years. Others claim to have seen Victor near the site just days ago. Paranoia creeps into the investigation. Friendships fracture, and the detectives themselves begin to suspect one another of withholding truths. As rumors swirl and old alliances collapse, the narrative unravels. The box links not just Melissa and Daniel, but several townspeople whose names have never been mentioned in connection to the case. The camera lingers on the mysterious objects, the music pulsing with dread. The lines between victim and perpetrator blur, and the question resurfaces: what really happened in those woods, and how many secrets still remain hidden in the ashes? The case, once closed, now seems more open and more dangerous than ever before. As the evidence from the ashes rattles the investigation, the camera shifts to Detective Moreno, her expression haunted, her hands trembling as she reviews the contents of the scorched box. In the privacy of her dimly lit office, Moreno pulls out a worn file from her desk drawer. The label reads, Case 317, The Waverly Disappearance. Years ago, before Melissa vanished, another child disappeared under strikingly similar circumstances. That case, Moreno's first major investigation, was never solved. The guilt has shadowed her ever since, fueling her determination in Melissa's case, and her obsession with every cryptic clue. As Moreno compares the old file with the newly discovered objects, her eyes widen. The child's bracelet from the box bears the same style and engraving as a necklace found at the Waverly crime scene. Could the cases be connected? Or is this just another cruel twist of fate? Moreno's personal life unravels in parallel. She ignores calls from her partner and pushes away colleagues, her focus narrowing to the mounting evidence and the possibility of a serial predator hiding in plain sight. The pressure mounts. Professionally, she's on the verge of being pulled from the case. Personally, her relationships fray as she becomes consumed by past failures and present dangers. As night falls, Moreno stands alone in the evidence room, the glow of a single lamp illuminating her weary face. She whispers, "What am I missing?" Her voice cracking under the weight of secrets, both her own and those buried in the town's dark heart. The camera lingers on her trembling hands as she clutches the two case files together, signaling a chilling realization. The past and present are entangled, and the true story has yet to be told. As dawn creeps through the blinds of the silent precinct, Detective Moreno's sleepless eyes scan the evidence one last time. Suddenly, her computer pings. A new email, subject line, "I saw everything." Attached is a grainy surveillance video, time-stamped the night Melissa disappeared. The footage shows a shadowy figure slipping through the woods. But there's something else. In the background, another silhouette lingers, watching, recording with a phone. The message reads, "You're looking at the wrong person. The truth is closer than you think." Moreno's breath catches. She replays the footage, freezing on a frame, a glint of the same bracelet, but on the wrist of someone she never suspected. The screen flickers and the video abruptly ends. No sender, no trace. A chill settles over the room. Moreno isn't sure who's toying with her or why. Is the real perpetrator still out there manipulating every move? Or has another secret witness just stepped into the shadows? As the camera pulls back, the unanswered question hangs in the air, echoing in the darkness. If someone saw everything, why haven't they come forward until now? The truth, it seems, is still waiting to be found. As the first golden rays of morning spill across the quiet town, the shadows that once haunted its streets begin to fade. News of the real culprit's confession spreads, not from a whisper in the woods, but from the courage of the unseen witness. Stepping forward at last, their truth breaking the cycle of fear. Daniel, once burdened by suspicion, finally walks free. In the gentle embrace of the community, he finds forgiveness, and for the first time in years, peace. Melissa, her story reclaimed from rumor and doubt, stands with Daniel by the lakeshore, letting go of the pain that held her captive. Together, they plant a tree in memory, its roots promising new beginnings. Detective Moreno, haunted by regrets and the ghosts of her own past, sits quietly in her favorite cafe. She reviews her case notes one final time, then closes the file for good. With a deep breath, she looks out the window, not searching for answers, but embracing the peace she's earned, knowing she's made amends and set the truth free. The town, once fractured by fear and suspicion, begins to heal. Neighbors gather for a candlelight vigil, not to mourn, but to celebrate resilience and the ties that bind them. Laughter and music fill the air, weaving hope into the fabric of their lives. In the end, the truth does more than solve a mystery. It binds wounds, lifts burdens, and lights the way forward. Because healing isn't forgetting the past, it's finding the strength to grow beyond it. As the screen fades to warm sunlight, one final message lingers. When courage meets honesty, even the darkest nights can give way to dawn. And in the light of truth, we all find the power to heal.